Plain and simply, and very importantly, it allows me to spend more time teaching and adding value in the classroom. So, for example, I can assign the material to my students in advance, and they will be taking these. So in Connect, for example, doing assignments, I can see how many of my students have indeed done it and how well they've done. So I know in advance of stepping into the classroom what parts they're strong on, which parts they're weak on. That enables me to tailor what I do in the classroom. And also more generally, frankly, because people refer to it as flipping the classroom, they frankly have more of the material in hand. So in class, I can start further down the road or at a higher level and add more value with all the things that I do during class time.
I use digital also to give me more time to do things in the classroom, but I also use it as a way to ensure that students are prepared and engaged. So for example, this past fall, I instituted quizzes, and it worked great. And the quizzes were due the morning of the day I was covering certain content. So that ensured that when the students walked in to my room, they had read. So if any of you out there are going, well, I can't get my students to read. Well, I got a simple solution for you. Have them do the online quizzes and Connect. It worked great for me. The students came in, they were ready, and what I found was, because I also teach a lot of cases, their contribution in the cases was far superior because they understood the content. Quizzes on Connect can do that for you. The other thing I do once I look at their quiz scores, which I would look before I go into class, I could see that they tended to miss a concept. So on that particular day, I might go in and say, all right, Angelo, you're going to spend 5 minutes on this concept because 60% of the students missed it on the quiz. Now, another thing digitally that you might use is LearnSmart, which is all about adaptive software, adaptive learning, where you can increase your students' learning, increase their grades by having them master the work outside of the classroom. So again, those digital things help you and your students, and I think Mel is right. All told, you can then do different things in the classroom, whether it's experiential or cases or some other thing. Do you, Mel, use any of the self-assessments for the digital self-assessments?
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a way, we know the value of self-assessments, and because those are fully integrated with Connect, that is a whole nother way to benefit from the digital product. Historically, right, you'll have your book, and then you'll have either DVDs or a website or other things online. Well, frankly, with 1E, we have integrated those, so they're actually seamless. The text and content in the book actually sets up or directs people to very specific places online and in Connect. Vice versa, the digital content also refers directly to the book, so they're truly much more hand in glove rather than simply complementary and separate products.
And in that integration process on the digital product called Connect, there's multiple choice questions that go with the assessments. So not only can you be assured that your students are taking the assessments because it can be sent to your grade book to indicate that, but you could have them take multiple choice questions, therefore getting them to more internalize those assessments. And one last thing I'd like to say about the digital product that comes with our book. Mel and I have been involved with many aspects of its development throughout. And the reason we do that, now authors...
I wrote the original Connect.
That's correct, he did.
product.
And the reason we're doing it is because we want to make sure certain topics that are in the product itself come forth on quizzes and in LearnSmart and that sort of thing. So at least with our particular product, you can trust that the authors were involved with some of the digital development.
Yeah, and did we mention one last thing? Less grading. So we all know the benefits of that. So not only are all of these assignments self-graded or auto-graded rather, but importantly, it's also integrated with your learning management systems such as Blackboard. So that helps you administer and manage your courses better as well as communicate with students more effectively.
Take a look at the products. It's very, very valuable for your students.